This tale is, as all bard songs are, an adaptation. It may contain adult themes and strong language. Welcome, dear listeners, to Abyss.
Welcome to episode 7 of Abyss. So, who are you? What are you? And in honor of National Fragrance Day, what is your favourite smells? Starting with Shiraz.
Hello, I'm Shiraz and I play the Dragonborn rogue Ishidoro, and I live in the south of India right now in a place where there's lots of sandalwood stuff, sandalwood soaps and all that kind of stuff, and I really like the fragrance of sandalwood.
Cool. Next we have Freya.
Hello, I'm Freya. I play Nal, the half-orc rogue, and I'm actually really sensitive to smells, so I hate everything that has the really strong smell, so I guess I don't really... I guess maybe I like the smell of waffles.
Or the ocean.
I mean, the ocean just smells like, rotting seaweed and briny salt.
Tasty. Next we have Tauno.
Hi, I'm Tauno. I play the human warrior Rasthikos, and my favourite smell would probably be vanilla. It's a nice, smooth smell that you mostly meet only when you want to meet it. It's not one that just pops up most of the time.
Interesting. Okay. Dragon.
Hello, I play Nitra, who is a Drow sorcerer of a sort. My favourite fragrance at the moment, actually, I've just been given some peony and rhubarb, possibly, perfume, and it's really nice. I usually don't like flowery perfume. It's lovely.
Rhubarb perfume?
Peony and rhubarb.
I don't know what that is, so...
Peony's a flower.
Okay.
So yeah, it's actually really nice, and I find that quite strange.
Fair enough. And finally, Susie.
Hi, I'm Susie. I play 13, who's the Goblin, who's cleverer than she looks or acts. And my favourite smell is, so you get this type of hay, and you can tell that it's just really good hay, and it has a smell that's just impossible to describe, but it's really good hay, and it's really satisfying, and that's my favourite smell.
Fair enough. There's no Layla this week because she has temporary internet issues, so she's not there this week. So, what happened last week?
So, as Jimjar was no longer welcome in Blingastone, he suggested going to... I've got it written as Gauntlgrim. Goodness only knows if that's actually right.
That is right.
Yeah, it is Gauntlgrim.
Excellent. So we head north, and we come across a stone wall, and there's this really narrow passage. And then we see a very familiar orc dead on the ground with his arm ripped out, covered in hornets and flies, which Therese is completely confused by because they don't exist in her world. And then there was a slope up, and at the top of it was super strong winds. Stool can tell us that there's someone hurt nearby, someone in pain. So he directs us to them, and we found the dwarf that was a slave with us, with 2 of the Drow slavers. She's not in a very good way. So we get rid of them. We feed the were-rat, which was the thing that they used as a bloodhound. Heal the dwarf. Divvy up the armour between us. And head to Mantol-Derith because it's a dwarf city. And the dwarf we saved can get us in.
And it has connections to the surface.
Yes. And Rasthikos recognised a statue of a Dwarven King as
Yes.
Bruno Battlehammer.
It's
Brunor.
Brunor. How is it?
Okay.
I don't think a king would like us to call him Bruno if that wasn't his name.
I think it'd be very entertaining. And
But
I
he's
don't
dead.
think Therese knows any better.
Yeah, but I think he's dead. He's no more, so he's an ex.
No, I recognized the statue and asked the guards, and they said he's the king.
Okay.
He might still
I have. I'll cross out dead then.
I vote that we leave Layla somewhere that has a fire, but the fire's like contained, so it's not dangerous. But she finds pretty flames.
We're gonna go looking for a tavern, right? So
We were being
Just
led
say-
somewhere, were we not?
You were being led to go and speak to the king.
Yeah.
just
I
that she
don't
has
think
a
it's
nap
enough.
somewhere.
And you have many pets now.
You do, yes. You have a were-rat friend and a stool.
Stool is not a pet. I'm not
Like-
entirely convinced about the were-rat yet, but
Stool and a bandolier around your chest.
yes.
Stool
His
looks like
legs
a
are-
pet.
His legs are too little to run after us all the time.
Right, okay. So, you get led to the city by this small troop of guards. Again, you notice that there's a distinct lack of metalwork, considering it's a dwarven city. Like, the metal that you do seem to see is very few and far between. And as you come across this second massive bridge, which seems to span another fork in the gigantic river that seemed to run as you walked into the big doors of Mantol-Derith, you are led up a set of stairs to what looks like obviously a quite fancy royal building. As you walk inside, you're sort of led through a couple of corridors, and then in front of you on a massive stone throne that seems to sit a sort of bullish looking dwarf with a big ginger beard. He looks pretty much like the statue, which I think was big nose and small eyes, and
Massive nose and a massive chin.
that was it. Massive nose and a massive chin. So
Are there any seats in this room?
yes, there are sort of seats all the way around the edge of the room. It's quite a small room.
13's going to go and take a seat because that was a long walk and she's really tired. And she's going to say it's really long. Oh my god. And like scramble onto a chair and be like, that's good. And like start rubbing one of her feet.
Does it look quite different to the dwarvish city we were in before?
It looks more... It looks like it was very much more slapdashes and it was carved out of rock rather than it being properly built.
Okay. Basically, are there things that mean that a drow that has never met any sorts of dwarves before is really confused why they're both being called the same thing?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I will be lost and confused then.
As you approach, the king looks very confused at the guards who sort of move up and whisper something to him. He then looks down at your injured dwarf friend, who... She looks like she's seen a ghost. What do you do?
I look round and then kind of look back at the group and go, something strange is going on. I know nothing about dwarves. Can one of you? I assume they will speak common.
They'll speak common and undercommon. We're not having this discussion again.
Okay. Albus sort of shrugs and just says, all I know about dwarves is they die easily and the rats like their meat.
Really noisily while she's rubbing her feet, 13's going to say in Dwarvish, I speak dwarf.
Okay, let's see what the response is. Everyone looks over at you and then ignores you and goes back to the main conversation. The king gestures to your dwarf companion and says, "Ah, sister, It's good you made it to our land. To which your dwarf friend just stares at him open mouthed and goes, I thought you were dead. And he looks sort of hurt and goes, No, I might have been captured, but I escaped. I'm a king. Kings don't die to the hands of Drow. And she again just looks really flabbergasted that he's alive.
Therese kind of covers her skin, like makes her face less obvious.
The dwarf turns to the rest of you and goes, I see you've brought company with you. What's all this about? So the dwarf basically tells him that you've all escaped from the Drow prison and made your way up here. And he sort of nods and goes, So you've experience to the outside? Good, right. Your injuries look a bit much there, right, we'll get you fixed up. And he sort of gestures and 2 guards come over and escort your dwarf friend off, and Jimjar goes with them. And he turns to the rest and goes, So, tell me what's happened since you got out of this Drow prison. What have you experienced out beyond my walls?
Therese pushes Rasthikos forward. It's like,
Right.
I really shouldn't be the one talking here.
Rasthikos will, take a step forward, bow, then say, Honored King Bruno, after our self-imposed liberation from the Drow, we have traveled through the Underdark, made our way here after some difficulty. What I believe will interest one in your position most is that the Underdark seems to be undergoing much turmoil. We witnessed it was Kuotoa, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, a Kuotoa village summon a creature from the depth of a lake that proceeded to crush them all and their village in a single hour. We saw another dwarven city fight a dragon that they had foolishly, if I may pass judgment, imprisoned. One of
But the dwarves were very different from your kingdom.
I am certain you are wiser here, King Bruno. We visited the home of our friend here, and I'll point to Stool in Chris's Dolia, and they had a large part of his people had fallen under the sway of some newly arrived power. And as we left that village, we arrived to... You saw the deep gnome Jimjar with us, who left with your sister. His city had been attacked by the Pudding King. Though we entered that threat, all signs point to much discord brewing.
But we are in the Underdark. There is always discord here.
He raises one eyebrow at several things you're saying, and he strokes his beard and he goes, So there's power influence. What kind of power have you experienced?
I believe Ishidoro here has, and I'll point to Ishidoro, has
I bow.
uncovered many demonic traces.
Demonic, you say?
Certainly the Pudding King was an interesting demon. We don't know how it came to be here, but there was a large concentration of demonic energy around the area where it had power. But we ended that threat.
So you'd say you have experience with demons?
To a certain extent, yes.
Right.
Does something trouble you, King?
He leans down and whispers something to one of the guards.
Can I do an awareness roll? Because I'm really creeped out by his focus on demons.
You can, yes.
I just don't trust him.
You're aware that he seems to be obsessed with demonic stuff, but it doesn't seem threatening to you.
Okay.
As the dwarf guard he's whispered to leaves the room, he looks at all of you and goes, I've got a small favour to ask. I mean, I imagine you all want to get to the surface, of course.
Yes. I speak for myself.
And as he about to say something else, you see the dwarf returns with a sort of middle-aged looking dwarf who looks like he's got this sort of like monk-style hair. He wears this big brown robe. And as soon as that other dwarf is in, they start closing the doors. And the king sighs and goes, well, the truth is, we can't find the surface.
What?
The rock, it's unfriendly. It tears away anything we try and break. We can't get through it. We can't find the surface. We can dig to the east, we can dig to the west. We can extend our lands, but we can't find the surface. We're trapped down here.
How long has this problem been?
Since we arrived here.
How long ago was that?
We arrived here about 20 years ago.
Oh boy.
We've set up our city, as you can see, the best we can, but with limited resources, we don't have much. We can't find the surface. We don't know what's happened. Me and my kin, we woke up in the Drow camp. We broke our way free. We headed north and eventually found as far north as we could, and we set up a settlement, but we can't find any further. The rock just turned us away.
In which case, that particular group of Drow must have access to the surface.
We've tried several times to interrogate them. Damn things won't tell us anything. They won't even tell us where they're getting new prisoners from. We send raids down and liberate when we can, but we can't afford to stretch much further. We're about as far as we can to produce food and supply people.
I see.
So what would you ask of us?
My fear is that this demon taint is closing in and the influence is slowly affecting my people. We need to push back against it, but none of us, apart from... He gestures to the one sort of dwarf they pulled in. Apart from our scholar here, know anything about it. Recently we took back a Drow campment not far from here, a place called Mantol-Derith. They left something behind, an artifact. We know nothing about it, but the Drow obviously want it back because they're fighting to get it back. So we need you to escort this scholar here to Mantol-Derith. Let him examine it, find out what it actually is and what it does, and why the Drow want it so fucking badly.
Therese looks towards the scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything? Do you have any suspicions of what it could be?
And the scholar is a sort of rosy-cheeked dwarf, as I said, and he's like, nope. All I know is there's demons, and I'm the closest thing they've got.
I see.
I've read all the books we have in the library, all 5 of them.
Well, between Ishidoro's knowledge of demonic traces, and I can translate if needed.
May we spend some time resting? We have traveled far and we need to recuperate before we take your friend here.
The king sort of gestures and says, yeah, there's an inn outside. Just tell them the king will pay for any food and lodgings you want. But please, leave as soon as you can. We don't know how long we can hold the Drow back.
I look at the monk and you guys can negotiate that.
If we had a coin, we'd give you it. We have none. There's no gold, there's no metal here that we can harvest. We can barely make a forge.
If we do not help, none of us reach the surface.
Let's just say he'll owe us a favor. Yeah?
If you can beat back this and find out what the Drow want, it could turn the tide. Could mean the most for my people. We would owe you a debt.
I asked the monk his name.
The monk very happily tells you his name is Gazram Dulok.
Gazram, can we see those books in the inn, possibly? And have your assistance in translating them and getting any information
well,
out of
okay.
them?
I can bring him along, sure. Not really a problem. So
we'll see you in the inn then.
Okay, so you go back to the inn, and a couple of minutes later, 2 assistants turn up with these 4 books. They're not very big books, they're probably about maybe hand size, but they all talk about demons and Drow.
Before we leave the throne room, Rasthikos would have asked Bruno if the group could be outfitted for an expedition to Mantol-Derith, considering that the Drow were still fighting to keep it.
Well, what do we offer you? We have no metal to forge any armor. We can give you stone armor, but it's not the most agile.
As long as it's better than this, and again, I'll draw attention to the chain crop top that Rasthikos is wearing.
We have no cow, so we have no leather. All we have is cloth and stone. If you want stone armor, then speak to someone. He gives you a rough name and says, "Speak to them and tell them the king sent you. You'll fight with stone armor. As I said, it will protect you, but your agility will significantly drop."
That works fine for me. And I'll presume I go about doing that while everyone else is meeting at the inn.
Yep. So, are you wanting a full set of stone armor?
Mostly just for the torso.
Okay. So you wear a stone armor chestplate. Your AC will shoot up to 20, but your dexterity will drop by 4.
Right.
I would like to go through the documents, but before I do that, I'd like to ask Gazrim if there is a holy place nearby, like a shrine to a god or something, a temple.
Well, we've made our own, you kind of see, but there's the forge. It kind of doubles up as an altar. We didn't have much metal, you see, so we made one that did both.
Fair. Is there a priest there?
Well, it's kind of me.
You're the priest.
Well, I'm the only one that's read any books, you see.
Would I be able to tell if he would be able to consecrate the salt that I have now?
Well, I could bless it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Alright then, give it here. And he takes it off you and he spends about 5 minutes just sort of dancing around making woo noises at the salt.
Can I roll demonology to check if this is effective at all?
Sure.
Like, as much as I like his interpretive practice.
It's about as anti-demonic as you can get for salt.
Fair enough, I'll take that. And then, if anyone would like to help me and go through these books, we can all take a shot at it, to read through and try and gain some knowledge.
What are the books written in?
They are written in very old Dwarvish.
13 can read Dwarvish.
I can be no help.
I'd expect Rasthikos, in his noble education, to have learnt Dwarvish, but I don't know if I'm at the inn yet.
I'll do everyone else first and then we'll do you.
Alright then.
So, who's reading the Dwarven books then?
I think 13 would, because she knows a little bit.
Roll me a d20 to see how much you learn from books. You learn very little.
Well.
It's written in a very rambling Dwarven script. Most of it seems to talk about the Drow and their sort of demonic history. It gets kind of boring after a while. You'd expect the subject to be far more exciting than it actually is.
I turn to Treese and I'm like, they speak about demonic history in Drow. Do you have any knowledge from your lore about something that could help us? Maybe point us in the right direction?
Let me check if I can roll lore. I don't know anything from lore, but what they describe as demonic may be classed by Drow as religion. And it very much depends on which goddess they follow.
You know a bit about Drow and demons, and that Drow are more likely to, if they have a sort of demon that will empower them, they're more likely to make a deal with it, but that's about all you know.
Basically, we are more like, I think, what you call warlocks. So you can make bargains, but only the intelligent survive them.
I will divide however much blessed salt I have into for everyone. Even like if it's a small handful or a pinch just to throw at something. And I will say, may not be the best, but might irritate them a little bit.
Okay.
We'll have to see how good Gazrim's dance work. And I look square at him.
Okay. So, you all rest up and eat. Is there anything else you want to do?
Rasthikos would ask Ishidoro if there any demon you know of that would be able to produce a massive lie or deception or mind mask.
Like, confuse people and trick them into believing it was a god or something like that?
Not necessarily God, just any large-scale lie. I don't entirely trust this place.
Sure. I'll try and remember and see if any of my learning from before helped. Like, have I detected any kind of demonic presence here? Or do I know of anything?
There's a definite feeling in the people. Everyone seems sluggish and tired.
Would I know that it's based here?
You'd know that it's like a sort of like stronger influence the more you get just outside the walls. Like it seems like it's beginning to tease its way in further and further into the city.
I asked Gazrim if he has any parchment that he can spare. And some...
Parchment? I think we've got a little bit. Not much, though. He gives you
Just
about 2 scrolls and some ink.
Okay, so this is like something I'd like to try, and I don't know how much it would help, but could I make like some kind of warding spell or like write down scriptures to kind of ward off demons? Some kind of protection spell against demons?
Are you aware of these spells?
I would say I have a 3 in Arcana, Demonology, and Alchemy.
Okay, roll to see
So-
how you get on making some sort of ward.
Yep, and if possible, I'd like to create enough for the team. But I will.
Make
I will-
one first of all and see how it goes. You make something that's got somewhat of a protection. Everyone feels slightly more awake than they did about 20 minutes before.
Okay. So I will keep it on myself at some point, and if everyone stays close to me, I suppose we can ward off whatever is affecting everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How is the were-rat reacting to what's going on?
The were-rat is basically like at your ankle, and it's just sort of following you around.
While I'm still feeding it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have any reaction to the ward?
No.
To the... okay. That's fine.
So, what are you going to do now?
Well, the Dwarf King is paying for all the food and drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's gonna get drunk.
Fair enough.
She's gonna eat all she can and drink as much as she can on someone else's bill.
13's going to join her.
In fact, so will I. It's like,
Yeah, the thing, she's never really had access to this kind of food before. I mean, I know it's probably not great because the guy said there is no cows, but I assume they're growing some sort of mushrooms.
It's like basically mushroom and lichen, but there's plenty of it.
Awesome.
I look at Rasthikos and I go, do you think we could find something flammable here? Fire is always good.
I like your thinking.
I'm sure we can burn things once we get to this Drow camp. However, I am gathering up lots of food for Stool, who's probably absolutely loving it.
Can he eat mushrooms?
It's not cannibalism, it's fine.
Well, he brought us lichen. They're not that different.
They can eat lichen, yeah, they're your steam lichen.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lichen growing on the rocks here.
The next morning, you all awaken. Some of you are slightly hungover from drinking mushroom wine. What do you plan to do this day?
Therese wishes to go to the camp because there's Drow, and he's the best chance of translating what is going on.
Okay.
Before leaving Goldgrim, have we seen the dwarf, our friend that we took with us, who led us to Goldgrim?
Yes, she's basically recovering.
We have seen her since she was led out of the throne room.
Yes.
Okay.
I think something is attacking here, rather than it being from within the city itself.
I agree.
Inside the city does not have the feel of Drow or demonic. I can't explain why. It just does not have the feel.
I looked at Therese and I'm going to say, are you going to be okay with all those Drow about? I mean, we've been trying to get away from them, and I don't know what your situation is, but...
I shall be fine. But thank you.
Okay. Right? Let's go then.
Okay.
Wait, before we leave. Now it's gonna ask for 3 bottles of mushroom wine. Because all of this demonic shit is going down and she's not going through this sober.
13 would like lots of food too to take with her.
It's basically the equivalent of the hobbits getting onto the boat and they're like, you've got all this food, and it's like,
Yeah,
give us
but
more.
it's only that. Are you taking extra for Sebi?
Yep. Sebi gets fed it. Everybody has to watch.
It's like mashing mushrooms into its face.
Yep. And then everybody has to like give him kisses and stuff.
Second-hand mushroom. So, you head out the city in a different direction from when you came in. And you exit through the walls, and you journey along this well-beaten path. And after about half a day's travel, you see this gigantic tower, and all around it seems to be a barricade. There's signs all around of blood smears and signs of battle, basically.
Gazrim is with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ask him what he knows about who's been sent to guard here. Like, will they know we're coming? Do you know them?
Well, as far as I'm aware, the king's brother went, but I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. But you can see that the silk dwarves in the post down there.
And he points down, and there's 2 or 3 dwarves look slightly slumped where they are, staring over the barricade.
Could I do a dungeoneering check, possibly? I suspect those dwarves are no longer alive.
Okay, roll. They are definitely dead.
Drow are sneaky. You need to think sneaky.
You don't see any wounds on any of them. Well, from where you are anyway.
Is there any trace of Arcana?
The closer you get to the tower, the more the strong feeling of Arcana and Demonology.
Okay.
Is the ward helping?
The ward is keeping you all feeling slightly more awake, but you are still feeling sleepy regardless. It's very, very strong.
It's making us tired, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to roll to figure out, like, if I can identify a demon that has traits like?
Roll Demonology. You're very aware that it's a sloth demon.
We must stay close to each other. Otherwise the ward won't be able to protect us for long. Then the closer we get, the weaker it gets.
Yes. Does Therese know of any drow that work with sloth demons? Like a different drow city or clan or something?
You're aware that drow will deal pretty much with any demon
Okay.
that offers them something, so...
So stealthy as it goes.
Oh yes.
Gazram, is there another way into the tower?
Well, there's only really the 3 doors in that we found anyway.
And he points down, and you notice one of the doors has definitely been ripped off its hinges, and then the other 2 seem quite secure.
Therese asks Stool, are there other living things here apart from us?
Stool just turns to you and goes, sleep.
No bless.
Sleep.
How about... I was going to suggest I sneak forward and try to do some reconnaissance, but it may not work with the sloth demon.
Who's the sneakiest of us all?
It should be myself or Nal.
One of you can come with me. Hopefully we can keep the others further away. But if we're stuck out there, we're stuck out there. So,
That's
do
fine.
we have a way of signaling people to run away? Okay, let's just go. And
Okay.
I look at Nal for like a response, and after an appropriate time, I'm like, okay, fine, I get it, let's go.
She probably just took a deep swig from her bottle. We'll figure it out.
Okay. I will sneak ahead with Nal and try and see if we can find signs of danger.
Are you looking through the closed door or the ripped open door?
I think through the open door.
Okay.
Closed door.
Are you going to look at the dwarves that are sitting at the barricade that you already established are dead, or are you just going to ignore them?
Nal is gonna... She's not gonna go too close, but she's gonna try and get just a closer look to see if there's anything particularly off or...
They look like they're slumped with their heads down. As you sort of pull their head back to look at their eyes, they've got a frozen expression of abject horror.
That's not good.
Their eyes are wide open and their pupils have gone really, really white. And if anything, their hair looks like it's gone greyer than it was.
A sloth demon shouldn't be able to do something like this,
Uh,
right?
I don't know. I know nothing about demons, really.
You're our resident expert.
Yeah, I'm kind of like talking to the voice inside my head, the GM. The font of all knowledge. Would I know that a sloth demon would do something like this?
Roll Demonology.
Don't fail me now. Oh,
A
thank God.
very powerful sloth demon could do something like this.
Way beyond our pay grade.
Probably.
Okay. I obviously tell Nal about this, and I say like, maybe it's a good idea to like keep our senses about us, because the way these demons would affect us is by sight or by sound. I don't know how good we'll be at fighting them without seeing or hearing them, but that is one of the ways they get you. Is there anything on the dwarves that we could use, like as projectiles or any weapon?
One of the doors is lying in splinters, so you could maybe get like a wooden spear out of one.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Are there any rocks or something on the ground? Like good fist-sized rocks?
There's a fair few of them lying around.
And I'll gather up two.
Do you want the spear?
It's fine, you keep it. I have a sword, man.
Okay.
Rocks this size do some damage.
As you look through the door that's been ripped open, you see a scene of slaughter. Outside there looks like there's 7 or 8 drow have been like ripped limb from limb, and blood is like covering the walls inside. You also notice the body of a dead were-rat.
much like ours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I tap Niall on the shoulder and I say we should head back and try to discuss this with the others, trying to find a plan. We can't just go rushing it.
Are the rest of us still conscious?
Yes.
Okay.
You're just feeling quite drowsy.
Did we seen or heard anything unusual?
No.
I was just about to say, if 13's
seems
feeling
odd.
sleepy, she's going to go and have a nap.
It seems oddly quiet, like far too quiet. Like, there's no sound of anything moving around.
Artificially quiet?
Kind of.
Okay, so Niall, are you coming back with me?
We should look closer at the bodies at the very least first. Now turns to Ishidoro and just goes, "Would a sloth demon do this?"
All the people inside? Maybe, yes, possible. I mean, they're ripped limb from limb. Either the demon did it or that thing that they had on a chain before. Remember? From the last time?
Possibly.
But mostly I feel that's definitely like demons. No mere mortal could have done it. And I suggest like we hightail it back before anything bad happens to us. I don't feel like losing limbs today.
I agree. I think we should head all the way back to the dwarf city. It seems.
I'm not convinced that it will be that easy.
Yeah, we rush back and we tell everybody what happened, and I basically am going to say that this is something that is quite powerful. Not like the Pudding King. We were in front of it and we didn't have any problems, but even right now I can feel it gnawing in the back of my head.
I'd like to do an Arcana check to see if there's anything else that I can try to protect us a little more from the demon magic.
Do you know if you have a way to dispel that? But you need some components for it.
The only reason I have access to any magic at all is, well, partly being Drow, but partly because I got hit by some stray magic at the temple. I don't really know how I would dispel something, but I don't think it would make things too much worse if I was to try. And from the way I have learned, as far as I know, I don't need components.
Okay, well, that might be something we can look at. I look at Rasthikos and I go, "You're the tactics man here. What do you think?" The doors ripped open, bunch of bodies inside, torn limb from limb. Definitely not the work of anything natural. And
Not to mention how the dwarves died.
They died horribly. And then on top of that, there's always this feeling of just almost passing out, like wanting to go to sleep.
13 has gone to sleep.
When I point at 13, I'm like, see?
I was going to go over and try and wake 13 up, shake her slightly. Danger. No sleeping here.
And I'm sleepy.
Did you have any dreams, 13?
Can I go back to sleep?
No.
What have you dreamed of? Did you dream of anything?
No.
You just passed out.
No, I lay down and decided to go to sleep.
Uh-huh. So, what do we think? What do we want to do? We can't rush in. I mean, we could rush in. That'd be the last thing they'd expect.
That is true. Clearly the dwarves were placed where they were, so that people might walk into it as an ambush. Walking into it aware of what is going on is something different.
There's also a third door.
There is at least a third door. I rolled Arcana to see if there was anything else magical that I could do to help protect us against this demon magic.
There's nothing really that you're familiar with that you could do. Aside from, Ishidoro's ward, there's not really much you have.
What happens when 13 just tries to have a nap because she's feeling sleepy?
When 13 tries to have a nap, she sees the image of this... It's like a sort of gigantic green demon. It's like a sort of like doing this sort of finger lure towards it.
Like he's beckoning her closer.
Mm-hmm.
She goes closer.
He just seems to smile with like hundreds and hundreds of very sharp teeth.
Now, can you wake 13 up again?
Nal pulls on 13's ear.
Does 13 wake up?
Yep.
Bah!
Don't go to sleep. Bad.
But I'm sleepy.
Did you see it?
Yeah, there was a big friendly guy.
What did he
Define
look?
friendly.
He was big and he was green and he had a big smile. Like this. And she grins as like big as she can. And she's got a lot of pointy, goblin-y teeth.
Okay.
Right.
So no one fall asleep.
Okay.
Gazrim, where's this third door?
Well, all 3 doors are there. You've got one this side, one that side, and one in the middle. Though the one in the middle looks like it's been opened.
Did we get a chance to look at the other door when we were there?
Just looks like the first door. This was like I've sort of bolted at the side.
Well, there's no point in waiting. The ward will keep us awake for a bit, and you've all got some salt on you. If you see the guy, chuck it at him.
Okay.
Keep your weapons close to hand.
I offer the spear to anybody who needs it.
Can Therese do me just a d20 roll?
That's ominous.
Very.
Stool starts screaming.
Oh god.
Shh, what's wrong? What is it, little one? What's wrong?
And you wake him up. He seems petrified.
It's okay, it's okay. What scared you?
He tells you that a giant green thing tried to eat him.
Do all of us hear that, or is it projected just to Trit?
Can be projected to all of you. Kind of chats to all of you.
How long is the spear that Ishidoro is offering? Dwarf length spear or appropriately
It's a
human?
sort of shattered remnant of a door, so it's maybe about meter and a half.
I'll stick to the hammer.
I'll hold it just in case.
So the giant green thing was trying to eat you in your sleep.
He nods very quickly.
13? This big, friendly thing with all the teeth. Was it trying to eat you?
No.
With all this description of giant green things with sharp teeth, can I make the connection just logically that they're talking about the demon?
Yes.
She's doing this, and then she does like a come hither, impression with her hand.
I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's to eat you, 13.
Okay.
Wasn't licking his lips or getting out a saucepan or nothing, no.
Maybe he didn't need to cook you.
Maybe
Now he's
goblins
feeling
taste
slight.
best raw.
Now I was feeling slightly insulted at all this description of someone green with sharp teeth, and so clearly he must be bad. That's racist.
Does she drink angrily, just swigging in the corner?
Swigging this mushroom wine.
It's just okay,
He's
so
giving you all the look. It's oh yeah, we're going that way, are we?
that's how it is. So from last time we learned that these things, they have to be anchored to the real world by something. They can't just exist on their own. The Pudding King, we had to basically destroy his brain for the demon to go away. So theory is there's something inside that tower that is possessed by a very powerful sloth demon.
So we want to avoid fighting and just destroy the anchor.
We also want to avoid sleeping.
Yes.
Rasthikos will stare pointedly at 13.
But I could ask him. I could go to sleep and ask him where he is.
You could go to sleep and get eaten.
No, I would
let's-
just jump about. The dogs
13,
just try and eat me all the time. It's fine.
I look at 13 and I say, what will happen to Sebi if he eats you?
He will avenge me.
Okay, that's an interesting theory.
13. If you fall asleep, I will take Sebi.
Wow.
I'll bite you.
Okay, let's save it for the fight. I say we go in, we find in whatever is anchoring this demon to this world and take it up. I don't know if it's a good idea for you to come with us, Grazrim, but I fear that if you stay out here, you'll end up like your friends over. So,
What
stay
do you mean,
close.
me friends over there? They're all alive. They're all dwarves. That one's Bobbin. Hello, Bobbin.
Just stay
I
close.
must not be able
and
to
don't-
hear me. I'll just shout a bit louder. Hello, Bobbin.
And there goes the element of surprise.
I
Okay,
think that
let's-
disappeared when the mushroom screamed.
yeah. Okay, let's go.
It seems Bobbin's ignoring me. What a bastard.
Listen, Bobbin is dead. Shut up, or you will be next.
What do you mean Bobbin's dead? He's right there.
Yes, and there's no life in him.
What?
Listen, here,
Follow and learn.
Tubby Man, do you know any magic? Do you know how to fight?
Well, I've got a little bit of knowledge of how to fight. You know, I'm a dwarf and all that.
Can you use this? And I hand him the spear.
Jab it with a pointy end, right?
Simple.
Aye,
You protect you protect yourself, okay?
Alright.
Okay. So I just look at the group one last time and I'm like, are we going to do this?
I won't know, but
You won't know, okay.
Suspect that either we go against it now, or we go back to the dwarf city and then wait for it to come to us. I don't like waiting.
we could lie a trap then.
What do you suggest then?
Well, what are sloth demons weak against?
What are sloth demons weak against? I will roll demonology to try and find out.
Adrenaline!
I will roll demonology as well.
Okay. All you know is that the sloth demons hate anything that requires effort.
It doesn't like running.
This is why 13 is his perfect nemesis. And why he won't be able to eat her, because she's just so full of energy.
To be fair, she slept off twice.
Can I also roll a demonology, because she's got +2?
Sure. 13 is assured that for some reason sloth demons don't like garlic.
Yep. We need some garlic! I read it in a book.
Well, that reminds me. Do we have paprika?
You have a little paprika. Did you not give it to someone?
No, I think we've been carrying it around. The plan was last time that I was going to commercialize my venture, but...
Oh yes, that was it. But yeah, no, you still got your paprika.
Okay. I hand people paprika, and I'm like, let's just irritate the fuck out of whatever it's holding on to. This should sting. I don't know, I just combine mine with the pouch of salt I have. And
Here, what am I meant to do with this?
with the paprika?
Aye.
Throw it like this! And 13 throws some paprika on him.
Oh, it's all in me beard. What are you doing that for?
Showing you what to do!
And he dusts his
See how
beard.
annoyed you are?
Oh, alright. Keep your hair on.
Okay.
More
Leave the-
paprika, please!
I will hand 13 paprika.
She beams.
Nal is gonna take. She has that bottle of mysterious liquid that she bought in the mushroom town.
Mm-hmm.
So she has some dusty blanket. She's gonna rip off part of the blanket and just stuff it into the bottle so she'll have a fuse
Okay.
ready. And just
Fire.
keep the flint and steel handy.
Okay.
So I'm up in front, and then do I roll stealth or something?
Well, are you going in the door that's been ripped open?
No, because that'd be really obvious. Probably trying to go the door that doesn't have the dwarves dying in front.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a third door that we haven't done much with yet.
Third door you can walk round to, yes. As you walk round, Gazrin walks up to the dwarf you recognise and he shakes him a bit and the dwarf just collapses. And he goes,
He is dead.
Yeah, now shut up.
That's
What
a
a
shame. He owed me
surprise.
5 gold. Bastard.
and he kicks him.
Well, unless we manage to sort this out, you would never be getting near any metal again anyway.
Maybe it's in his pockets.
Possibly.
The king said that the city had no metal.
We don't have any metal, but we've got 1 or 2 gold coin. I say
That's
1 or
just-
2. I think the treasury has 30.
Ah, I see. There is some, just very little.
Should have made a sword
Worth
out
a lot
of
of gold as a gold coin.
Is the door locked?
Yep.
Okay, I don't have the skill to open this, so...
It doesn't seem to have a keyhole either.
Oh, okay. Does it seem barred, or is it just locked?
When you push against it, it doesn't move at all, so it must be somewhat barred.
I see.
Okay.
Right. I'll move forward with the hammer.
I mean, we've lost the element of surprise anyway.
Yes.
Okay, roll.
On 3.
You crash through the door with the hammer. The door is a big indent in the middle of it. So it's not completely open yet, but it's pretty much split, almost fully splintered in half.
I can do the shining and look on the other side, see if whatever's barring it, right?
Yep. Pull the hammer away and look. There seems to be like a very large bolt keeping the door locked.
I'll unlock it.
Okay, you unlock the door, so it does roll towards you very softly, and it looks like it might just, like, splinter inwards completely.
I'll stand clear.
Okay, so what are the rest of you doing?
Taking out weapons and moving in. What do I see inside apart from carnage?
Inside, you see a storeroom containing more barrels and barrels of mushrooms and lichen. And as you get into the sort of middle room, you hear the sound of snoring.
I would like to sneak forward carefully.
Yeah, now I want to do the same.
Okay.
13 will be very, very quiet since she's on Now's back.
You'll all look round into the next passage and you see in the middle of the room the Quaggoth that you were all chained to at the start of the campaign.
That explains.
He is covered in what looks like drow blood, and he is lying on his back, snoring loudly and twitching every so often.
Can I roll demonology to check if he's affected by that?
You can, yes?
We know him to be violent.
Yep.
Yes.
This is more of, I suspect that he might be.
He's got a sense of demonology about him, but it's not the sloth demon.
So he's been touched by demonic energy, but isn't possessed by it.
No. So
Or
as he twitches,
is demonic, just not that one.
he starts sort of rolling side to side, slightly more panicked. And then he just sits bolt upright, screams, his eyes are completely white, and the scream suddenly gets cut short and he collapses.
Okay.
I'll check for a pulse.
And that is why you all need to stay away.
Yeah,
You
no
rush
sleeping.
over and check him, he is dead.
Before, he's checked that he's dead, 13 sort of prodding Al, and she's like, I bet you 2 silver that he's dead.
Val just goes, no bet. I'm not that stupid.
Oh, come on. I mean, look, he's twitching. I bet that's a twitch
He's
right
dead.
there.
Rasthikos will say aloud.
Oh, 13 just looks like defeated. Or
As you sort of stand around the body, you notice that he is sitting basically in front of where all the dead drow were. And you notice he's completely covered in blood, like sprayed blood, as in he's basically the reason why all the drow got ripped apart.
Yeah, his claws are covered in it, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of those fancy drow arrows and bows around?
You look at the drow bodies, there's a couple of bows, very fine bows with arrows. There's a couple of whips. There's basically drow armor if you want it, it's just mostly been ripped apart, so there's like a bit here and a bit over there, a glove here and a glove over there.
Anyone that can use ranged weapons, we should pick it up. A sloth demon doesn't really want to move. Dealing with it at a distance would be better.
That is
Hit
very
blood.
true.
Are there any
I-
cool arrows?
There are just a couple of quivers of arrows.
13 will take some arrows.
Am I able to find the helm?
You can probably find a drow helm, but most of them don't seem to have them. One of them's got a sort of leather hood on. Most of them have just got sort of free range. Like one of them had an eye patch.
Another eye patch.
You can have 2 eye patches.
That might be quite good to deal with a sloth demon, you never know.
And no armor tougher than leather.
No, they're all just wearing leather.
A leather hood?
Mm-hmm.
Does Trace aware of any reason for that? Why they were not fully armed?
They just seem to be prepared for like very quick movement.
So they were a scouting party.
They were a recapturing party.
Ah. Fair.
One of them you find a set of manacles.
Okay, so that might be why...
That's for the Korgoth.
Yes, so the Korgoth was the reason that the Drow were here. But what was the thing that they found?
The Quaggoth, why was he here?
Oh, Derendel.
Yeah.
Yes. Is he what they found?
Last we know they were hunting him down.
Yes, but why would he be here?
Well, in fairness, we've ended up here as well.
We've been sent here.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Gazzo,
thought it was a good hiding place.
I elbow Rasthikos and I'm saying, you know that stone armor is fetching, but Quaggoth hide.
I don't feel him elbowing me, so don't start listening until
It's like a clink in the stone. It's like
You not like roll for bludgeoning damage or something for like smacking your elbow off of some rock.
Ow!
I didn't like people's elbow him. I simply nudged him.
I don't know, you ever just hit your funny bone in the wrong way?
Oh, that's so.
So if no one's picking up a spare bow and some arrows, I will pick.
Oh, that was planning to do it, but
There's loads of bows and arrows lying around. There's a couple of like arrows and daggers and stuff like that as well, but they're all like boot daggers and stuff.
I will
13
take one
has
of
no
them.
boots, but she's going to
Those
take
are
some
throwing
daggers.
They are basically
Anything that you
throwing
can throw from a distance is better, because if this thing won't come after you too fast. That's the best I can guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the back of the room, there seems to be a set of stairs leading upwards.
Do we see any dwarves amongst the bloodshed?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to see if the dwarves were also killed by Drow.
I have worse fears. I think one of the dwarves may be unfriendly.
May in fact be the sloth demon. It's possible.
So I basically carry the arrows around, like one hand with a bunch of arrows holding the bow, and then one arrow ready in it.
Okay, there are quivers there if you want them.
Yeah, it's more like for speed and stuff, so it's just like unload all of it one go.
13 copies him. Like, really pointedly, like, tries to hold a bunch of arrows in one hand.
I just look at her and I just like, I have the biggest smile on. I'm like, yeah. Should I
It's
tell
like
her?
super serious expression on.
Alice gonna pick up a quiver and she's gonna strap it to 13's back. Fill it with arrows.
Oh.
Okay.
So, are you heading up the stairs?
Yes, but Therese
Yes.
needs to rearrange Stool so that he's like completely covered and safe.
He's
Is the-
quite confused because he's trying to stay awake but keeps yawning.
Does he have a mouth? I thought he talked,
Well, he can still eat.
telepathically because he doesn't have a mouth.
But
Is he
he-
yawning telepathically?
Well, he can eat.
If he can eat, he must have.
Well, you may not have a voice box.
He might, yeah, he doesn't have a voice box.
Yeah.
He can communicate telepathically, but he still eats.
How
with
is the
mouth.
were-rat doing?
The were-rat is basically attached to your ankle still, but quite confused, and it sort of looks around as in like it's not sure as if something's talking to it and it can hear something weird going on.
I just imagine you walking around with this were-rat like an ankle biter just like stuck to you. Like,
Look down at the were-rat and place a hand on it. Kind of, yes, this is shit. We'll find a way.
It runs up
At
your
this
hand,
point-
it runs up your hand and sits on your shoulder.
Wait, it's that tiny?
No, it's about the size of, it's about up to her mid-thigh. But it's
They're not
quite
small.
lightweight.
now it's like a cape hanging off.
Yep.
I'm going to rearrange the rat so it's like lying across the back of my neck, because that's considerably easier to walk with.
Wear it like a scarf.
Yes.
Is there any benefit of us like kind of rolling stealth to move up quietly, or
It's up to you.
I would like to roll stealth and like head up. And if I roll first, then we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is the first time I failed. Oh,
You creep up the stairs relatively quietly. The top of the stairs, it's like a whole, like, another tier level. To your right, there is a door leading to what looks like sort of barracks bedchamber kind of thing. And to your left, it's like a sort of like mini hall where it looks like there's tables where food was prepared.
I go right.
Okay. You push open the door. There are several dwarves lying in what looks like beds made for Drow. All of them seem to have the weird, like, all white people's look about them, and they look very, very still.
Can I prod at one of them? Is
With
it
your finger,
definite-
with an item, what are you going to use?
With one of the knives. No, with my short sword.
Okay. You poke a dwarf, it pierces the skin with ease, and the dwarf doesn't move.
Okay.
Is
Pierces the skin with ease.
is this like a dead end? Like, are there doors
No,
leading?
at the other end of the sort of food area, there looks like another set of stairs up.
Okay. Can I quickly like roll awareness to see if there's anything here that could help us? Flammable torches, fireplace, something.
You
like that?
can check if you want. There is some flint and tinder. There's
Okay.
a very basic fireplace. It looks like it's long since burnt out. There's a cooking spit, so there's basically like a couple of long stone skewers.
Like javelin.
Kind of like javelins, but they're about maybe half a meter long. and there's some basic stone cutlery.
Continue moving up.
Okay. You head up the stairs. Again, to your left this time, there is another room that looks like another sort of sleeping chamber. And to your right this time, there looks like there's it's kind of like a sort of war room style layout with a basic, what looks like sketched map of the area, and several dwarves sort of sitting slumped nearby. And to the back of that, there's another set of stairs going up.
Is there anything small and shiny 13 can take?
You look into the sort of bedchamber again. There's a couple of sleeping dwarves. One or two of them have like necklaces that have got like jewels or such like on them.
13's gonna take them.
Okay.
Do I have to roll Arcana to detect foul magic, demonic magic, or is it demonology?
If you do demonology, I'll do Arcana.
Okay, let's check.
Okay. There is definitely a strong demonic presence here.
Like, is it in this place or next
No,
up?
it seems to be from at least one more floor up, but it's something very strong and very powerful.
Okay.
Is the ward still holding?
The ward is providing less and less benefit the further you go up.
Okay. I basically like look back to everyone and I'm like, this is it. The next floor up is going to be coming after us. I have a plan, but I need you guys to agree to.
Okay.
Right.
First of all, no one falls asleep. So slap yourself, hit yourself, pinch yourself, whatever you need to do. Second, I'll try and lead it down here. I'll just go up, peekaboo, fire at it, do whatever to gain its attention, lead it down here into an ambush, at which point all of you take shots at it.
Okay.
So there'll be me, and then there'll be it, hopefully, running after. Okay?
Yes.
Right.
I'd like to do a Drow religion check
Okay.
to see if I know of any spells or protections that Drow use against demons that they're not deliberately interacting with.
Okay. Nope.
I can't roll for shit tonight.
Be glad it's not plummet. So no, you don't know anything that would be of any use.
Last thing I'd like to do before I go up is I'd like to rub the mixture of paprika and salt onto the arrowhead as best as possible.
Sure.
Ah, yes.
And then I will sneak up, I guess. I'll sneak, I'll activate, and I fail.
Okay. You try and sneak upstairs, making quite a lot of noise, but you think you're being
Yep.
quiet. When you get to the top of the stairs, you notice that all around you is like it's open, as in it's like for like archer sort of slots all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the room, there's a plinth with what looks like a small, I say small, it's about maybe a 6-inch high black, almost like a diamond with those like etched symbols all the way around it. And there seems to be a dwarf looking at it.
Like, he's standing at the bottom of the plinth looking at it.
Like he's standing at the plinth, basically, he's like eye level with the gem.
He's not touching it, he's just looking
Nope.
at it. Since we've seen a lot of these dead dwarves around, is he, like, dead, or is he very much alive?
He's got his back to you, but he seems to be standing rather than slumped.
Okay. I keep the arrow pointed at him. Am I feeling really drowsy, or am I still up?
You're still feeling pretty drowsy.
Okay. I say, hello.
He turns round to face you. His eyes are, like the others, are like completely white with like a tiny, tiny, tiny black dot.
Uh-huh.
And he tilts his head slightly and goes, "Somnolence calls me. I am not home. Hush, my children. You should rest."
I shoot him.
Okay. He begins to walk towards you. Roll to shoot him. Yep. You sunk an arrow straight into his side. He slows down for a couple of seconds, stops.
Does the salt and stuff not affect him at all?
Let's see what effect it has. Yep, he's slowed down by it and he sort of looks and stops, and you notice it like it's not burning around where the arrow goes in, but it's definitely causing him discomfort, but he just seems to sort of look at it as in like it would be too much effort to yelp in pain.
Yeah, I'm running down.
Okay. Are you going to tell anyone else what you've discovered, or are you just going
Absolutely, I'm screaming all the way.
I'll be by the end of the stairs, ready to smack whatever comes behind Ishidoro down the stairs.
I'm just basically screaming down the way, use the salt! Use the salt! It's the dwarf he's possessed.
Oh dear.
13 throws some salt. I guess. Is he following him?
Can we see the possessed dwarf?
Not yet, no.
No, I'm just saying, I slowed him down. He's coming down.
Is he definitely chasing?
Nothing is following him so far.
Yeah.
Yes. That might not be enough to...
Well, he knows we're here. The salt did affect him a little bit, but he's definitely possessed. There's some kind of black gem up there with all kinds of etchings.
Oh.
It's no rocket science. It's no... what would be the rocket science here? It's no gunpowder science, but...
A black gem, you say?
Yeah, a black
What's it
gem
look
with markings. About this big, etchings all over it.
Oh, that'll be a soul stone.
What's the soul stone?
Oh, it's a big demon thing.
Is it something that would keep a demon anchored to this world?
Oh, they've got anchored to the world. Whenever they take damage, they retreat inside. It's like a sort of phylactery.
So if we break it, does it...
We need to injure it enough to drag it back in.
You've got to kind of destroy it somewhere blessed. Because, demons they just apparently spawn another one. Unless you do it somewhere blessed.
Okay.
Okay, kill it. And then break the gem.
Well, we can't do it here. Okay.
He blessed the place, though,
Who
Mr.
blessed?
Scholar.
Yes.
Well, I don't
Because
really
he
have
has
any
the
of me
salt.
candles. Or me cider.
Can you do it with wine?
Never done it with wine.
Give it a
Mushroom
shot.
wine.
He pulls a book out and starts flicking through this book and he goes,
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. It's important that we knock this dwarf out.
Yes, I agree.
He might not be doing it on his own volition. The gem is the real objective.
Once we drive it into the gem, I don't know whether a ritual of loss would count as blessed for destroying the gem, but it is another option.
No, it's gotta be destroyed at something blessed. Like the forge in Contalgrim, that'll work fine.
Yeah, but we can't carry it to Gon.
I do not want to take the stone into the city before destroying it.
Let's try and see if we can come up with something with the wine. Bless a table or something. Make it an impromptu altar.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Someone has to rush in and get the gem. 13.
Yeah.
Don't touch it, okay?
Then how am I supposed to get it?
Have Sebi grab it.
13 was thinking maybe a sheet of cloth.
Well, yeah, that too.
Isn't Sevi a wooden doll?
Sebi is stuffed.
cloth doll.
Yeah,
doll.
Like
that may
like a straw cloth doll.
the
a dog.
description I have is small toy that may be a 3-headed dog or horse, maybe an octopus.
That's basically the description of Sebi, yes.
So
We'll distract the guy. You go get the stone to this nice man here and try and destroy it.
okay, could use the hammer.
Could use the hammer.
Smashy, smashy.
Can we bless my hammer then?
Actually, that would be quite good. Wine on hammer, hammer bless.
Well, it's not so much, the blessing one thing as having something strong enough to not, make it fly the other way. Like
Okay.
this table's solid, but it would just break through it.
So, what's better? Hammer hitting it or...
Bring it to the forge at Gontal.
Yeah, but okay.
It's more
That's
trying
true.
to find something strong enough to counteract the demonness,
As long as no one touches it, I think we'll be fine. No one touch it, no one look at it, because this person was looking at it. So,
Yes. You need to be careful. Stay awake,
Okay.
but do not look at it.
Can I throw my jar of hornets at it?
at the stone?
No, at the person to distract them while I steal the thing. Hornets are totally distracting, and they'll be
They
super
are.
angry.
I shot him with an arrow in the shoulder and he barely registered it. Like he kind of slowed down a little bit.
At this point, all of you in your heads hear.
Visitors, I'd entertain you, but have it.
13,
Aren't you
go.
weary? Don't you want to join your friends in slumber? Lay down. Leave it all behind. Why do you fight when you deserve so much more? Everything your dreams ever imagined. Rest. Rest. The world will go on without you.
I just gesture to everybody to go. Let's go at this thing.
13 grins and sort of gets out a jar of hornets.
I check on the were-rat and on Stool.
Stool is petrified. Like he's making squeaking noises.
I wrap him up in a little bit more cloth and be like, I know, but just trust us. We will do our best.
Smother him in cloth, okay.
Yeah, well, that worked before.
Okay.
There's no saying that it won't work now. I have my sword out and I'm basically following 13.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, are you running up the stairs?
Yeah.
The dwarf is looking at you when you get up top of the stairs and goes,
Don't you want to rest?
No! Where is he in relation to the stone?
he's basically still kind of next to the stone. He's kind of staggered backwards since he got shot.
Okay, can she just run up to him and smash or attempt? She's going to like try and sort of throw/smash her jar of hornets at his feet.
Okay, roll.
Ishidoro, stung by hornets, died a horrible death. Nice.
You smash the glass. All the hornets are released. They're buzzing angrily around the dwarf's head. He doesn't seem to be phased. He just stays incredibly still and looks to you dead in the eyes and goes,
Hush, my child. Rest.
Where's the stone?
still on top of the plinth.
He still has the arrow in him, right?
He does, yes.
Would it harm me if I like reached in where all the hornets were buzzing around? Like, I'll take a shot at it. I'll basically jiggle the arrow around in his shoulder, cause him more discomfort.
Roll.
Just so that 13 can get like a window.
Roll low, you get hornets.
Okay.
No, you're fine. You jiggle the thing. The dwarf seems to react. It's like it's discomfort, but he's too tired to react any more than that, and he just emits a soft howl as these hornets are like notably stinging him all over. And then you can see the welts growing on his face and his arms and stuff like that from these hornets stinging him, but he's having no reaction.
I would like to go up to the top floor and can I rub the tip of the slaver's whip in the salt and paprika mix and then hit him with it.
Okay, roll.
Preferably round the neck.
You crack him across the throat. A significant wound opens through his voice box, and he just goes. So, what's 13 doing?
He's just standing there, right?
He's just standing there, yeah, as he's getting stung by hornets, and he's getting Ishidoro like moving this arrow in his shoulder, and he's had Treese whip him across the throat, and he's just not reacting.
Okay, well, like, as soon as she had thrown down the hornets and the jar had broken, she'd have, like, gone to run around him and gone to the plinth, and she'd probably be ripping at her oversized toga, which may actually be starting to look like it fits her now. Like,
Eventually it will.
yeah, because she's ripped off enough bits. And she's got a square of fabric to try and, like, go up to this stone and throw the fabric over the stone and pick it up, like wrap it up and pick it up. But
Sort
the
of
other
makeshift
thing,
bag.
yeah. But the other thing I was going to ask, like, see the plinth, see when she's up there, can I do a lore or even religion to see if this is actually like a blessed place?
Yep. Roll.
12.
Everything you can find, all it really does is reference the name Blue, and it seems to basically talk about all the things the Drow could offer in exchange. So it's basically, this seems to be the main altar for this demon.
A summoning place.
Not so much summoning as the sort of like main sort of tribute location for it.
Would it technically count as a blessed place?
No, it's demonic.
No. Okay, that's fine. Well, she's just wrapping up the gem, and then she's turning around and going to like leg it out of there. Like, you know, have you seen that Ace Ventura when nature calls and he's in the jungle and he's got the bat.
Yes.
And he's holding up and he's running.
Yep.
That's what 13's doing, but I'll shout in the name of whatever demon that is.
Okay.
That she read. Vashradu.
Frank.
Say again. She's mispronouncing it as she runs, probably.
That's fine. So what's Ishidoro and Trice doing?
That's enough for me to just basically leave the arrow be and leave him with the bees and run back.
Okay.
I guess I should leave him.
Yeah, no point. We can come back here later.
He's very slowly walking towards you, but he's still surrounded by bees, and he's still always doing it.
Is he close enough that I can throw some of the salt to the wound?
You can, yes, but he's had salt already put in it from the arrow,
Yeah.
but you can if you want.
I would like to add some salt into the throat wound.
Okay.
Bullying this possessed man.
You throw quite a large amount of salt and paprika into the wound. He makes a sort of gargling noise like his throat's dissolving and stops. And you notice the flesh all around his neck seems to be bubbling.
That is interesting.
Like bubbling like last time? Like when we killed the Pudding King?
Kind of. It's like the skin around his throat seems to be reacting quite strongly to the sort of salt paprika mix. And it's like it's burning through his skin. But he doesn't seem to emit screams or anything, he just seems to sort of stand there as he's basically still being stung by these hornets.
Would he eventually die from this extreme amount of pain? Like his physical body would cease to function?
That depends entirely on what you think he is.
I'm running after 13, that's what I said I was.
Okay. So
Yes, I think I will.
you're all
run
back
up.
downstairs, what are you going to do now?
How are we feeling?
You're still feeling tired because you've got the gem on you.
Okay.
Is the ward stronger if I place it on the cloth that 13 is carrying, if I can ever catch her?
It
and,
seems to
come?
almost be completely negated at the moment.
Okay. Let's just head back as fast as possible. Gazram, come on. Let's go.
Oh, bloody hell.
So
You have to destroy this thing as soon as we get into the city. You go to the forge. You know how to destroy it, right?
Yep, I just take something very large and I drop it on it and it goes psh.
Good.
Okay, so I assume you're just running straight back to Gauntlgrim at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you run back to Gauntlgrim, Gazrim bangs on the door on the wall, you get let in, you all rush to the forge, you pull the gem out, which again is covered in like significantly like etched runes, and he sits it up on the forge and says,
Right, does one of you want to hit it or should I?
Rasthikos.
Right.
okay,
If it's clear, I'll just smash it with a hammer.
yep, roll to hit the gem.
Alright.
You shatter the gem. There's a sensation for a couple of seconds of like incredible sleepiness, and then it disperses completely, as in you all feel more awake. And there doesn't feel that there's the sort of demonic sense there was before.
Does it also dispel the demonic sense coming in from the walls?
Yes.
Okay.
As
Does
in there's-
anything about geology seem different?
No,
Okay.
but the sense of demonic influence on the town seems to have completely reduced.
Okay.
I look at 13 and I'm like, good job.
She beams.
Are there any remnant of the soulstone?
It's like shattered like very thin glass.
Okay. That's fine.
Do we have to
You should grind it
dispose
into
of that?
dust.
Now, did the name you were shouting, did that ring any bells for one?
No.
Lofty?
No, not enough anyway.
Well, it should no longer be tied to this realm.
Good.
According to the old Drow book, it should be banished from the land now.
That was a powerful demon. More powerful than Drow usually try to make bargains with.
I think, just to be sure, we should head back and check up on our friend with bees.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I don't want to leave any loose end.
Okay, are you going to journey back to Mantol-Derith?
Yeah, if everyone's okay with it, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to see if the were-rat and stool want to stay in the city. Now it is safer.
Stool is too attached to you and the were-rat won't leave your side.
Okay. I will continue having a rat scarf.
You get to Mantol-Derith and immediately there's a sense of... It's weird. It's like whatever had control here is not there anymore. It feels just sort of cold and empty rather than suspiciously quiet.
Can we go and see where our friend went?
You walk up the stairs, there's basically a collapsed dwarven body with hornets buzzing around it.
Is there anything in his pockets?
You kind of get as near as you dare with the hornets and check his pockets. There's not much there. There's like 2 gold coin, that's about it.
You found the 2 gold coin?
He's got 5 gold coins now.
Surprised you're not trying to recapture the hornets.
Oh! I need another jar though. I broke the jar.
There's probably like something around here.
You put the hornets in with the jar of flies.
Oh.
No. You'd probably end up with them all being rather dead.
Well, I guess that wraps everything up here.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. You head back to Gontlegrim.
Seems odd that the city has existed. We know of it on the surface. It has existed for 2 decades. They say they have never reached the surface.
Is it perhaps not the same city? That they named their new settlement for an old city?
Well, these are questions to ask the king.
True. Yes.
Also,
to him.
Does anyone have an idea of how much time has passed since we've been down here? I don't know, the slave camp kinda made me lose track of time. And I am very fuzzy on how I got down here.
Time has passed as normal.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to like make this place less ideal to commune with demons? Or like offer as an altar or something? Like destroying the plinth, would it work? Or
it seems not cleansed, but it seems like the demonic taint seems to be removed.
My concern is if it could be used again.
There's no influence from the demon that was there.
No, I will head back with everybody then.
Okay. So, you head back to Gontlegrim, you find Layla and your dwarf friend in Jimjar, and then you go before the king to tell him how you get on.
This city feels fake. I cannot shake that feeling.
I am very confused as to why this dwarf city is so different from the last. When they are both dwarves? Something feels strange.
There's different types of dwarves.
There are?
Yeah, like, you know how there's different types of elves? Like, you're a Drow. And then there's the other ones that live in the trees.
What are trees?
Well, they're these big plants, right, that grow out the ground. They make wood.
Okay.
You know how there are mushrooms down here that grow large?
Yes.
That does not really happen on the surface. Instead, you have other plant life that we call trees. They serve very much the same purpose.
I see. Yes, that would make more sense.
Now here's half-elf.
I look at Nal in interest and go, I would not have said you were half Drow.
No.
Not half Drow, half elf. Think wood elf. Mom
wood-
never talked about that a lot.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
I think we'll explain various surface things to Triss for the next time.
Yeah, for next time. Okay, that's fine.
There's such a thing as the sky. Sometimes there are clouds. You have day and night.
There's rain.
Wind.
Wind I know.
Cold silence returns. The waters lay still, for this week at least. Join us again next week for more of our tale. This podcast is an adaptation of Out of the Abyss, a 5th edition D&D adventure. It was adapted from the original story by Nikolai Popsky. The podcast features Nikolai, Dragon, Shiraz, Freya, Susie Q, Tauno, and Wednesday LeFay. All music was written and performed by Boström. Artwork was by John Moore. And if you, dear listener, wish to acquire your own sets of finest metal or acrylic adventuring dice, then journey through the Underdark to dndice.co.uk and speak the name Penance RPG at the checkout for a 5% discount off your order. Farewell and Godspeed, for we fear the madness is closing in. Good night out there, whatever you are. Ha 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 ha.